So where are we anyway? Kauai. It looks like it's Hawaii. We're on the island of Kauai at the Wailua Bay View condo. You can see the some of the surrounding hills. Very early in the morning. We've been awake for 3 hours because Willie woke up at 3 in the morning. Still partially jet lag for Willie. The rest of us were ready to sleep the remainder of the morning, but Willie insisted on being up at 2 in the morning. This is a daytime view from Wailua Bay View condo. Cool.
Lots of people paddling, although they're not really paddling right now. Still, okay, Willie, you want to get there. You want to be over there.
Failing. People are outside the canoe as well. Visible from our apartment here on Kauai is Lydgate Park. There's two rings of rocks which make little beach lagoons, which we're seeing the edge of here. And we've been there 3 times already since we've been here. On these rocks, right below where we're staying, is actually a fair snorkeling area. Yesterday I followed and even touched a fairly large sea turtle, about 3 by 4 feet in size, shell size, and of course it's sticking out beyond that.
How's that? You have a good time?
This is Lydgate Park.
Huh?
This is the larger lagoon, which has a fair amount of fish visible when snorkeling. The smaller of 2 lagoons at Lydgate Park. At high tide, it's considerably higher in a larger pool. This is low tide this morning. Some of the scenery near La Fury is actually near Kuilau. This river in Kauai flows into the Wailua Bay area. Side of some excursion boat rides up this river. This is Opaca Falls, right across the roadway. There's Opaca Falls. Another view of the Wailua River. As it flows towards the ocean. This is a view of Wailua Falls. This falls is reached by a fairly narrow 4-mile road. The road from Wailua Falls, doing a 180-degree panorama, you can see the mountains that ring the area. The mountain towards the center is the central peak in the island of Kauai, is reportedly the wettest spot on Earth. The clouds sort of get stuck going over the island and drop their rain there. Peak not being visible because of the cloud cover. Lots of traffic in the area, which is touring helicopters. Cropland is sugarcane. Requires a lot of sun and a lot of water, both of which Kauai has. A view of some of the rugged hills on Kauai. This is a playground area at Lydgate Park. Beach area to the north of Kapa'a. North side of Kauai, near Princeville. Looking towards the ocean. This is the Hanalei Valley at Princeville. Brief drive through Hanalei. This is Hanalei Bay. Princeville Resorts in the distance there. The crashing surf a little further up the road from Hanalei Bay. This is Lumahai Beach, which was the nurses' beach in the movie South Pacific. Very difficult descent, rough trail getting down there. Reportedly also even though it's a beautiful beach, when you're down on it, it's too rough of waters to actually do any swimming there. The Lumahai Beach viewed from the opposite direction, only a portion is visible, with vegetation blocking the view from below. A further extension of what I believe is Lumahai Beach which this is the furthest extent of it. Again, the view in the other direction blocked by vegetation. This is a view from a cave. We're very close to the north end of the road at the end of Kauai. This is the mouth of the cave and the ocean beyond. Looking from the other direction, this is the cave entrance. This is the north, very near the north end of the road in Kauai. And at the same location of the cave is Hana State Park. And the campers here. Basic restroom facilities as well. This is the beach area of Hana State Park. As we look in this direction up the beach is another beach which is known as tunnels. There's actually former lava tubes that are underwater in tunnels. This is actually a very good snorkeling area. The fish seem to congregate around the area, knowing if they can be. There's really no decent parking at the tunnels beach area. Sort of parking alongside the road the best you can. Further in this direction is the end of the road and the last beach you can access by road, which is Ki'i Beach. Also very good snorkeling in that direction. Here, this is the location of the cave at Hana State Park. And it's a very sheer, rising cliff of rock above this area. This is looking towards Tunnels Beach from the Hana State Park. And this is a view of the rock face. Hard to get it in perspective, but just above the pond.
There's probably a tunnel and stuff.
One-lane bridges are very common on the north side of Kauai. Several of these we run across. Rain in Kauai. Something the island is famous for, having lots of rain. Most of the rain actually happens on the central peak of the island. Some of the downpours can actually be mild or brief. Except for a brief let-up a couple of times yesterday afternoon or the evening, it's been raining almost continuously since yesterday noon. So amazing. One tourist stop on Kauai is Smith tropical paradise. This is a walking tour of Smith's Tropical Paradise. Just across the road from Wailua Bay. Birds on the walkway. I think perhaps it's a bird paradise. Aku Aku, Easter Island monument, no doubt. Bananas, and of course they grow upside down from what we would expect them to. Pineapple patch. Mango stand. A number of immature mangoes. Coconuts. An outrigger canoe from the Polynesian village. Section of the bamboo rainforest, as they call it. More bamboo. Generic ducks of some sort. Lagoon Amphitheater, where Madame Paley introduces you to the garden people of Hawaii and the fiery welcome. Supposed to have an 8th season. So don't forget about wahine and kane during your visit to Hawaii. A little black duck waddle. Palm tree, of course, has no coconuts. In this location, the Kalalau pig is steam roasted to an exotic succulence in their authentic earth oven. Afterwards, the pig is served in this luau hall, loaded with lots of chairs and punch and mai tais, no smoking. And chicken heaven once again on the way back to the exit. Concludes a 1-hour walking tour of the Smith Tropical Paradise. Touring grotto cruise is an optional feature. Last cruise at 2:30 p.m. Large number of people out there on bodyboards and surfboards, or boogie boards as they're often called. Kuilau Ridge Trail is about a 2-mile trail with what we feel is pretty breathtaking scenery. Among the best hikes we've ever taken, scenery-wise. We took it this morning with baby and backpack, and it took about 3 hours, 15 minutes to complete it. However, a lot of stops were made along the way. We were going to take it 3 days ago, however, when we saw the sign on the hunting season, we decided we'd put it off to a time that was not a weekend or Monday. The trail starts with about a 1-mile climb on a gentle incline, winding its way around. To the side there's a certain amount of scenery from the surrounding hills. A lot of them shrouded in clouds at this time. the 1 mile point about halfway into the hike. Many of the surrounding hills are draped in clouds at this time of day. Also on the near the halfway point of the Kuilau Ridge Trail is a little covered picnic area. From this point on the ridge, you can see mountains ahead and a panorama of mountains to the side. Looking backwards on the trail now, and continuing around, you can see down to the ocean area near Wailua Bay. This trail is about a 15-minute drive from the Wailua Bay area. As you can see, it was on a fairly unimproved road. And again, looking back towards the covered picnic area ahead. At some points on the ridge, you can see a fairly dramatic drop-off below you. And this drop-off in some places is on both sides of the trail. Panorama here from the picnic area. With countless names engraved on the tables and benches. And the ridge trail continues. A few areas of the trail are still muddy from the rain a day and a half ago. From this vista, one can also see sections of the Kuilau Trail. As well as the valley below and the ocean beyond. On the south side of Kauai, near the turnoff for Poipu Beach, one can see a large range of mountains. At the turnoff for Poipu Beach, there's a tree tunnel which very well survived the storms of Hurricane Lydgate. This is Spouting Horn Park, and this is Spouting Horn. Periodically, this will appear to erupt. This is, however, nothing of volcanic origin. That is, the water that's spouting up is simply waves that are rushing under the rock, and they're blasting out through this natural hole in the rock face. This rock is, though, of volcanic origin. This is some of the rocky shore area present on the Poipu Beach area. Surface in the water. Unlike the other parts of the island, this part of the island tends to be quite rough and rocky. This is a public beach area, Poipu Beach. lava field of rock extending outward. In 1992, Hurricane Iniki struck this area and damaged significant property in the Poipu Beach area. Some of these hotels are still not reopened nearly 4 years later. This was a restaurant that we ate in 1987, still also closed. This is a hotel which is not yet reopened. A once beautiful hotel complex. The first floors had to be entirely gutted because of the damage from the waves that struck this building. This is what's left of the Poipu Beach Hotel, where we stayed in 1987. This again was devastated by Hurricane Iniki, September 1992. I believe we stayed in a room about at this location. And I believe I ate a breakfast under this little canopy at this location. Still a shambles nearly 4 years later. More of the Poipu Beach. Fun in the sun at Poipu Beach, however you would not want to ride a wave into the shore here. As is shown on this map, Kauai is the northernmost island in the Hawaiian chain. It's also geologically the oldest of the islands, whereas the big island of Hawaii to the south is currently still being formed by newly erupting volcanoes. This schematic diagram shows some of the main features on the island of Kauai, listing various beaches and parks. This map of Kauai shows the general terrain as well as the road network of the island. The red lines show the main roadways. The lines going north here are roads that go up the mountain along the Waimea Canyon route. The other roads are primarily following the outer parts of the island. The area about here is the Huey, and then Wailua, Kapa'a, continuing further north, and then finally reaching Hanalei Bay, and a few miles further is the end of the road. The Nepali coast along this route is undeveloped and is even restricted for hikers because of the fragile ecosystem and fragile trails. One of our favorite water sport activities on Hawaii is called snorkeling. These are photos taken with a disposable waterproof camera. This is actually a fairly large sea turtle, about 3 by 4 feet in shell size, which I was able to photograph just down on the beach near our location here at Wailua Bay. These are some snorkeling shots from Lydgate Park using the same disposable camera. It's designed for underwater use. And when you bring a little food, you can actually get quite a few fish right at your location. It involves basically using a swim mask. If you need a prescription to sea with, then it's useful to have your prescription fitted into your mask, which you should do in advance of take such a vacation. Additionally, one uses a snorkel tube so one can continue breathing while your face is in the water. This allows you to view the fish for an extended period of time without coming up for air, since you're breathing through the tube. It should be noted on this video a number of times it sounds like there's thunder in the background. What actually you were hearing on some of these views from mountaintops or open beach areas is wind rushing into the microphone of the video camera, causing a thunder-like sound, but actually it's just the wind rushing through the microphone of the camera. This is Ki'i Beach at the northern end of the main road around Kauai. It's also where the trailhead for the Kalalau trail begins. This is a reef protected area which is pleasant for swimming, and at the edge of the reef is opportunities for snorkeling and seeing the fish that live and swim and feed along the edge of the reef. A short section of the Kalalau Trail, just a few minutes from the trailhead at Ki'i Beach. This is a vista point, a little over 5 minutes into the Kalalau Trail, looking down at Ki'i Beach area. And this is steep rock face nearby. The Bali High Cliffs, I believe. About 15 minutes into the Kalalau Trail, and a fairly steep drop-off below. Less than 20 minutes on the Kalalau Trail, looking back towards Ki'i Beach and the hills above. And here we're catching a little glimpse of the Nepali coast. At the same point, I'll be able to get a good clear shot of that area. And then looking down towards the ocean. And again, the view of Ki'i Beach. The Nepali coast, as viewed less than 20 minutes into the Kalalau Trail. Perhaps one of the Zodiac rafts along the Nepali coast. One brand name called Captain Zodiac. At 30 minutes into the trail, the view is not as good as it was at 20 minutes into the trail. No clear vista at this point. So now is a good time to turn back and head back for a cool swim and snorkel at Ki'i Beach. Dolphins swimming in the surf. Could be sharks, I suppose, as well. Ki'i Beach, less than 20 minutes from the trailhead. Ki'i Beach area. This is part of the trail. Back to the trailhead. The cliffs above Ki'i Beach. Vacation stay in Hawaii, we're staying at the Wailua Bay View apartments. We have a number of rental units available here. This is located in Kauai, on the island of Kauai, near the main drag going through town. And it's near the town of Kapa'a. We'll do a little walking tour here. Again, the Wailua Bay View. This is the entrance area on the road. And coming up here, we have parking area. Wailua Bay View has about has 3 stories and probably some 40 or more units. Most of them, as I understand it, one bedroom apartments. The Bay View, there's a swimming pool area. This is view from the stairway as we approach the apartment. We're staying at unit 307. As we enter the apartment, we have a single bed apartment, and to the right is 1 bedroom. This is a little compact washer dryer in this closet, and in here we have a full bath, has bathtub, and fairly good size vanity. As you walk into the apartment, we have a counter for eating, kitchen area, complete range oven with microwave over it, refrigerator built in, little dining area, and this is a fold-out bed in this couch. Also includes a TV stereo unit. The high chair there is something we're running separately. It has also a VCR, which is very handy as well. One of the excellent features of the Wailua Bay View is the view of the ocean, as well as a view of the mountains. Turning back to the entrance, we have, this is the bedroom unit. Another view of the Wailua Bay View apartment. This is the beach area, right outside the Wailua Bay View. The Wailua Bay View apartments, visible here, are set up slightly up a hill. The central units, I believe, have the best view of the ocean as well as the surrounding mountains. All of these units are facing the ocean. This unit, which is 301, probably has an acceptable view of the mountains, whereas part of the ocean view is blocked by the divider between 301 and 302. The next 2 units, 302, 303, 304, 305, are again blocked by the divider of the adjoining apartment. These central 4 units, which are 6, 7, 8, and 9, have both a good mountain view to their right, and bay and ocean view to the left. The next 2 units, 10, 11, the view to the right of the mountains is slightly blocked, as is units 12 and 13, and then units 14 and 15. There's a total of 45 units in this complex. All of them are apparently 1-bedroom apartments. The last 2 units, being 14 and 15, it's 115, 215, and unit 315. The view of the mountains has been perhaps slightly blocked from these units. Of the 45 total units, 101 is the resident manager, which is not visible here because it's too low down and blocked by some of the foliage. That's used by the resident manager. 2 other units I saw in a brochure are up for sale, going at $220,000. Now, of course, a good deal of the price is the view here. but it is basically a one-bedroom apartment. This unit did very well survive Hurricane Iniki. There was apparently extensive water and window damage to the front, at least here. As we look across the main road, what we have here is the Cocoa Palms Resort. The Cocoa Palms Resort was damaged much more extensively during Hurricane Iniki, and as you can see, it's nearly at the water level. Well, 3.5, almost 4 years later, the Cocoa Palms is still not yet reopened. Very large complex. However, it's so low down to the ocean that it sustained probably significant wave damage, as much of the water extended over the roadway and sustained water damage to the unit itself. I believe it's a 2- or 3-story unit at that location. Disadvantages perhaps here. This is a roadside apartment complex, and this is the main drag that goes through town, and has a fair amount of noise. On the distance, a landscape feature which is known as the Sleeping Giant. If you look at this hillside structure here, this portion is supposed to be the facial profile of a giant sleeping. His body sloping downwards, the so-called Sleeping Giant. Across the street from this complex is a Shell station. Across the street is a restaurant, and there's a Korean barbecue close by, a Thai restaurant, TCBY yogurts. You'd be walking across the street there. Up the road is yet another apartment rental area. Further down the road is yet another place where one could stay. Another housing location close by. Other housing options. Short walk up the road is a Coconut Marketplace, which has a large variety of touristy shops. A mile down the road from here are a couple of shopping centers having a Safeway store, as well as Long's Drug Store and a variety of other shopping places. So everything is quite close by when staying here in Kauai. This is a view of the Coconut Marketplace shop. Interesting fountain. Just another poolside view of the Wailua Bay View.